Hi everyone, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, chat managers, for your help. I appreciate it. If anyone would like a reading from me, please feel free to call me or text me on my YouTube number or go to my site, psychicmilu.com. And also don't forget to please subscribe. And give me thumbs up too. That would help me a lot if you like the channel. If you are not a subscriber yet as well. And some people have complained to me about being unsubscribed. I'm not the only one. I am not quite sure why. I believe I mentioned it the other day, but I hear Adam Muckler is complaining about the same thing. So we'll see. I try to contact those guys, but they won't talk to me. I guess because I call myself Psychic Milu. I don't see anything bad about it. In any event, I was watching a news conference this morning, and it has to do with the those supposedly they call themselves conservatives, but these people, to me, I'm not quite sure they fit, well, the MAGAs now, to me. But the point I'm trying to make is, this morning when I was watching them, they had a bunch of slogans, okay? Waste, fraud, and everything else they're trying to get out of Medicare, Medicaid, Doge, and Elon didn't find any of that sort. And intuitively, I feel not only that they are lying, we know they're going to lie. But yesterday, Trump came out and said they were a happy family, it was a love fest, and everything is going to be fine. These guys are afraid to go along with the program because they know they will lose their seats. That's what the problem is. And they're talking about, all kinds of things that don't exist. And they're blaming the Green New Deal, the DEI, you name it, they're blaming it on other things. They just caught between a rock and a hard place. They're not sure which way to go. They're going to have to do something. They will give Trump what he wants because, as we know, the threats that we know that Trump simply has to show that he is unhappy with many of them, and he will set an example on a couple of them, I guess. Okay, but let me tell you, there is a lot of fear among those guys about losing their seats, and they don't know how they're going to move forward from here because, like I've been saying for a while, they will lose their seats. That's my prediction. And the next thing, it feels like to me, I'm going into my first title. The hurricane season, among other things, this summer is not going to be fun. When I say it's not going to be fun, meaning we're going to get hurricanes in Florida and in, those areas that are prone to hurricanes. And FEMA basically is being decimated or dismantled, just like Trump is dismantling every other part of the federal government. NOAA can no longer function the way they used to because of Doge's cutback. Unfortunately, we may get caught because there is no one to predict some of that stuff that are going to be heading our way. It is unfortunate. It's going to take some of those hurricanes and other nature's wrath, on things that could have been prevented if Trump didn't basically take apart NOAA, and also is not trying to decimate FEMA. And what I am seeing is a whole bunch of Americans not knowing where to turn, having to help themselves and each other. It's going to backfire on Trump and his regime, but they're not going to be able to respond. And if you remember what happened to Bush, I don't remember the name of the hurricane, but intuitively I feel like saying what's coming this summer will be a lot worse, because I am hoping I am wrong, and this is not something that I do often. We may get a double, like a back-to-back hurricane. I hope I'm wrong, but that's the feeling I'm getting, and that's why I decided, let me say something about this. I don't know if any of you know, because me too, I may get caught on that stuff, because, you know, we know where I am. I am trying to start making plans now if I have to go to New Jersey, even if I have to drive there, okay. Because once I felt that, I'm beginning to feel uneasy. I don't know how I'm going to start, where to turn to get the information that I need if something is coming our way in this area. But because of the way Trump is about decimating NOAA and FEMA, Americans are going to have a very hard time coping with what's coming this summer. And I don't know why, and I'm not sure. Thank you very much, Catherine Gilbert, 2005 Katrina. Yes, thank you for during the Bush administration. You know, I'm getting like a very bad feeling about this. Trump will still be drawing lines on a map like the last time, exactly, and that's the scary part. Krista McCracken says NOAA has a website with warnings. Thank you, Krista. But, well, you know, the thing is, for example, are they going to be able to let us know with accuracy the way they used to, or at least the best they could? You know, I'm definitely going to start going to visit those pages, and there are a couple of people in Florida, or weather people. They have their own channels on YouTube. But if we don't, I don't know if you guys have heard, they have balloons that they used to send up. I'm not quite sure how that works because I'm not into weather. I'm sorry. I'm not quite sure how that works. But they measure certain things in the atmosphere, okay? And the people at NOAA collect those informations here, you know, and then do their calculations and their predictions, okay? They don't have enough of those. That's another problem, because they don't have the people to do it. They don't have the personnel anymore. That's another problem. But the other thing I'm getting that concerns me, there is something about fire, but I'm not sure where it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be California. It feels like to me, it may be due to one of those hurricanes or something. You know, I'm not sure what it is, but it feels like to me it's going to be in like Louisiana and those areas. That's what it feels like to me. I hope I am wrong. Ryan Hall, y'all on YouTube. Thank you, Sandy Beach. I don't remember that name, but I'll definitely look for it. But there are a couple of channels on YouTube that make those predictions. I don't know how accurate they are. I've looked at them before. But I wanted to let everyone know, if you're in this area, look for ways, okay? Because I don't feel this summer is going to be much fun, and Trump is not going to help or be much help. Yes, FC said will affect red state Exactly. Okay. I don't think this is it. I don't think it's going to be a fun summer at all in that sense. Okay. The next reference is Trump is attacking, like I predicted before. Some of the stuff that Trump is doing, I don't think they realize the negative energy that their activities are creating. Christine said, Ron DeSantis be held accountable for the for the $10 million, yes. That's coming. That's fraud. I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's Bundy that's going to take care of him, but something is going to happen. I don't know how. Okay? But yes, there is an energy that's building up, it feels like to me. And Trump, well, that's what he wants to do. But people like Stephen Miller, I mentioned it yesterday, Vought, Elon Musk, and others in the White House. Like I mentioned the article yesterday in the Washington Post, they were talking about those guys behind the scenes. They are basically in charge, and Trump is just the head of the snake. But I am concerned the way they're going about without thinking, of course. That's what Trump does. He doesn't think about anything. There's no plan, there's no nothing. By the seat of his pants, he does things. There are a lot of people that are there's an anger energy that's building up. Okay? People are fed up with a lot of the things that his way of going about breaking the laws, basically want to destroy the Constitution. And I don't know how many of you heard that they deported some people, okay, that are not, some people to Africa, and among other places that we are not aware of yet. And it was against the court order. And to what degree I feel these things are generating and a lot of negative energy. A lot of people are getting fed up, and it feels like to me this is going to create it's going to create an environment where some people are going to feel they have to take matters into their own hands. Okay? And I was thinking about that. After I did the session yesterday, and I mentioned that article in the Washington Post, I keep trying to forget about this. But the anger that's building up, I don't feel Trump is going to stop. Stephen Miller and those racists in the White House are going to continue doing what they do, thinking they can turn this country white. They have their plans on how to basically exterminate, if you could. I know that's really an extreme word to use, but basically that's what they would do if they could. Okay, anyone that's different from them. I'm not saying it could happen immediately, but if Trump, Elon Musk, among others in the White House vote, and these people, if they had their way, and if things were to work out, they would try to eliminate everyone of color from this country, unless they can use you as their domestic or their slaves or whatever. They would do it. But and also the way they are going about blaming everything on DEI, and they want to rewrite history, basically African American history in this country, like nothing happened, like I believe it's Ron DeSantis that said that, slaves, it wasn't like, really that bad, something like that. It was like work. I believe Ron DeSantis said something else. Somebody in Florida, I don't remember exactly. If you guys remember, please let me know who that is. But what's concerning to me is the anger that's building up. And some people, I feel, they're not going to take, what I feel is I'm hoping they don't take it, their anger, on the wrong people. That's my concern. Because, and those people, when you don't have much to give, anymore when it comes to you fed up. I don't want to say the word. Okay. And they just make decisions, just harsh decisions, to go and act because they are angry, I've had enough of this guy. There is that's building up. And don't be surprised if things don't change between now and August, and I don't see it. I feel there's a chance to come, but I can be wrong with time. We may see some violence. I don't mean a civil war or anything of that sort. But what I'm talking about is what Trump is doing right now, taking people's health care away, mistreating people, attacking everyone, or if you are against anything he's doing, he attacks you, he belittle people. And a lot of people don't feel Democrats, it's not that Democrats, they don't want to. I feel they're doing the best they can. That's why I don't complain about them. But some people don't feel there are enough people to stand up to Trump and his regime to defend them. So they may take things into their own hands. Please let me know if you've heard people talking about their frustration, because I am intuitively, I feel that's what's coming because of some of the stuff that Trump is doing. So please post and let me know if you guys have heard others expressing frustration on what they feel is happening to this country and in their lives, what's coming. They're not ready financially. How many people, the majority of us, are not ready for what's to come, except if you're a millionaire or multi-millionaire or above, yeah. But we're going to face some challenges. But my intuitively, I feel what concerns me is the violence. And the way these guys want to cut $700 billion, I believe. Let me take a look at my notes. Yes, for Medicaid, $500 billion for Medicare, dropping people off. For example, taking SNAPs away from kids and families in needs. Our vets, although Congress is doing a very good job at putting those cabinet members on the hot seat. I don't know how many of you were watching yesterday, and again this morning I only had the chance to see Zeldin being Senator Schiff was basically reading him the right act. And Schiff put it the right way, and that's it to me intuitively. And as a person, Schiff was letting Zeldin know the cuts that he's proposing, okay, and some of his actions is not going to create cancers for only people who are against Trump or just only other people. It's going to affect his kids and Zeldin's kids or grandkids. So I feel Chief did an amazing job this morning explaining things, and that's in a very effective way, it feels like to me, of calling those Trump people out. Okay? But Democrats are doing the best they can with the tools that they have. But some of those people that I feel where the anger is building don't feel there is enough being done, and don't be surprised if we see violence. It may not be, I don't feel it's going to come this month, but watch July, August. I can confuse time, but let's see what happens. I hope I'm wrong. But this is, to me, intuitively, it's not looking, there's going to be a lot due to Trump's actions. And the hurricane, and among other things, bad weather, natural events, no one there to help anybody. Yeah, this is going to be a bad, situation. That's my prediction. I'm sorry, I don't like to give those things, but I had to say something about that because I could not get this out of my mind since yesterday afternoon. I wasn't sure if I wanted to present it today, but I made a decision. I'm like, I usually don't talk about those things, but I feel like I had to say something. Celtics here says naturalized citizens from small countries, regardless of ethnic background, are also being targeted to intimidate, bully these countries. Oh, yeah. In fact, I was watching a video from a gentleman from Jamaica. He was talking about that. And if somebody he knows, basically, I think they arrested the person because something happened a long time ago when they were teenagers. Now, 40 years later, they found out that happened, and they gave the person who was coming back from somewhere at the airport, they apprehended, not apprehended, but they arrested the person, or I don't know if you call it an arrest, but they put the person in some kind of detention somewhere, but I don't know what happened after that. But yes, you're right. They are doing these things. I heard about that. Oh, yes. Somebody asked, will the Trump birthday parade happen? Yeah. Christine R. is asking, will the Trump birthday parade happen? Absolutely. Unfortunately, that's not a point of frustration, but you know something? I let it go because there's nothing I can do about it. Then that's another thing. I'm glad you asked that question. It's obvious. Oh, I forgot to mention this. How Trump is doing everything to enrich himself and his family. Okay. $400 million airplane. By the way, I don't know if you guys heard about it. It was on CNN. Okay. Trump initiated, like I said yesterday, this whole thing. Okay, but it was on CNN just because I saw it this morning. Okay. Among a whole bunch, and then he wants to spend. I don't think that parade is going to cost only $45 million. And you know something? Trump is still working and trying to get that airplane, by the way. Okay. And intuitively, I feel what Trump's plan is to have that airplane. Well, of course, he's president. So if they have to refit that airplane with everything that they have on Air Force One, Trump is going to want that airplane with all the technologies that are in it. Watch. That's my prediction. That airplane is going to turn into a hot potato in his hands if he were to successfully keep it. Okay? Things that are going to turn out really bad for him. But when I focus on Trump now, that's the plan. But to go back to your question, that all those things that I mentioned, okay, is going to be is playing on the mind of those people that I mentioned earlier that are very angry or getting angrier every time Trump does something. A lot of people don't understand Trump arresting that judge, okay, basically abusing undocumented, okay, arresting the mayor of Newark, arresting the congresswoman. They don't understand. It's a lot of people, I don't know how many, but it's quite a few people are getting angry by the day. Okay, that's why I feel potential for something major to happen. But yes, Trump is, the military is already planning and everything. This is going to be interesting. Well, I'm not going to be watching, and I'm not going to be part of it. And it's going to be, I guess, Trump and MAGA. And from what I understand, there's going to be a counter protest throughout the country against that. But that too, you are taking away people's insurance, their way of getting some food, and you calling them, you're saying that you want them to work, people who aren't able to work. Otherwise, who doesn't want to work? I don't know that many people, or if any at all, who would rather have a job than get a check from welfare because they're limited. But if they could work, they would go to work and earn the money and have more money. This is not going to go well. He's taking people's, basically, whatever little bit, basic stuff that they don't even have the basics to survive. And he thinks this is going to go over well. I don't think they are thinking that way because they don't understand what the regular person goes through to make a living, to feed a family. So that's going to be a major part. I haven't heard, and intuitively I don't see this not happening. And once Trump makes up his mind he's going to do something, the only thing that will stop him is if we the people stand up. Okay, but the airplane, they're still working on it. The parade to celebrate the king is still on. So let's see what happens. I'm looking for one more question. Maybe do you see Jake Tapper on MSNBC this morning? I saw part of it. I got so pissed off. Like I said, I believe it was yesterday. Instead of them focusing on what's happening in Congress today, these people, I've been saying throughout this thing, they are decimating the government. They are taking food away from children. They are, some of the stuff that they're doing, instead of focusing the energy. And Trump is not well up here either. Biden, that's poor guy, he's suffering from cancer, but he did an amazing job. You know what Jake Tapper said? And that's when I switched the channel. He was focusing on the people around Biden basically lying to the public, okay? But whatever Biden did, the good job that he did putting our economy back up, because what Trump left them was a mess, okay? And everything that he did is for historians. All those things, all the good things he did are for historians, but his job is to point out how the people around Biden covered up that he was suffering from dementia. And like I've said this many times before, and one of you said something, I almost died laughing. Somebody posted it. You were saying that you will take Biden acknowledging, yes and no with one eye, the laying down on a stretcher. I'll take that too before I take the mess and what I feel is coming. Because if Biden was reelected, yes, he had cancer, but I would trust Kamala 100 million times over this. Because what I feel is coming is pretty scary. So, yeah, I saw that. I didn't watch, and I'm not going to buy the book, so forget it. You know, I didn't mention it because it doesn't make me feel very good. Okay. I'm looking for one more question. Okay. Oh, somebody asked me a question. I said, let me see if I can find it really quick. Yeah, they keep talking. One of their slogans is waste, fraud, and abuse. That's from racist Elon. Oh, guys, I forgot to mention Jerry Connolly. I was a fan of his. I think he was one of the best in Congress. Unfortunately, he passed. May he rest in peace. I think he was one of the best congressmen. Democrats, yes. I think he was amazing. Somebody asked me, will Smartmatic win the lawsuit against fix Fox and put Fox out of business? I don't think they will put Fox out of business, but yes, they will win, and I would be surprised if Fox doesn't try to make a deal with them, okay? And somebody asked me something else. I'm trying to find it. I don't see it. Okay. But Democrats basically creamed Rubio. Did you guys see what happened to Rubio yesterday? Oh, Lord. Okay. Yes. Whitney Morehouse says, Noam from Cheers passed away as well yesterday. Thank you for posting that. Yes, may he rest in peace. I remember I was shocked this morning. I saw a cartoon somebody posted on Blue Sky yesterday, but it's a cartoon of him and a bunch of, some of his fellow comedians that are on the other side, okay, welcoming him and saying hi and stuff like that. But I'm like, no, he didn't pass. But I have so much here on my mind when it comes to the channel and keeping up with everything that's going on. Didn't Google it. And I was experimenting with dual systems. I told you guys I was going to buy a switch so that if something happens to this machine, I can automatically switch to another computer, and you just have to find me. I would make something to make this switch faster. That's what I'm working on. So I was working on that yesterday. So I had a lot on my hand, and I had to do my readings, so I can earn extra money. And I didn't do a search, but yes, I heard he passed as well. Biden H's Jake Tapper is my guy. Yes. Okay, let's do a Diddy update as far as Christine R. says who passed away. Connolly, the Congressman Connolly, Jerry Connolly passed away. And the gentleman from Cheers, I forget his name right now. Oh my God. Somebody mentioned him. Norm from Cheers passed. Whitney Morehouse said that. Thank you. Yes. Some of you were mentioning that the federal government, since it is a RICO case, and I don't know exactly how RICO case work. I just want to put that out there. So, I don't want to, I'm not trying to pass myself as an expert. I can only go based on what I see on the charge document. Okay. I saw 3 charges. I don't know where the first one is racketeering. I don't know if that's what alone is, if that the others, are part of that. I don't know. So you guys know better than I do. I'm just letting you guys know what I know and what I don't know. But intuitively, okay, Cassie's mother testified yesterday. And also, as I'm saying this, there's a name that starts with the letter A, ND or something like that. Okay, either the jury or somebody doing something that's going to affect Diddy in a negative way. It's probably a member of the jury. Okay, but Cassie's mother testified, although she was not cross-examined by the defense. I'm not sure. Well, it wasn't. She was not going to be. They wouldn't look good, and the way she went about confirming that she took the pictures after she saw Cassie after a beating from Diddy. I told you guys, those jurors, I heard an attorney, I'm not saying the attorney is wrong, okay, but intuitively, I feel the jurors are doing a better job at absorbing what's being said, the things that they are looking for. And, some of you said, it's an expert as well as saying, how are they going to, yes, they're proving like domestic violence, but I don't think that's that's the only thing that's happening here. Not an expert, I'm talking intuitively, okay? They know, the jurors that is, know what they are looking for from each one of those who testified, okay, those witnesses. And the same thing yesterday with Cassie's mom. There's another guy, he's basically a male prostitute. I don't know. I forget the name. A call guy. I don't know how they call him. It's a call guy, I guess. I don't know. I'm not. I didn't get into anything. I didn't want to hear it. I'm being honest with you guys. I don't handle those things very well. Okay, it repulses me, But I heard he testified. I don't have to listen to what he had to say, okay, or read what he said. I can tell you, besides all the important information or data points that the jurors are looking for, that guy caused a lot of damage. And let me tell you how. Not only, yikes, I have to get this done really fast because it makes me sick. Some of the stuff that he did, I'm glad I'm not the only one. It had a major psychological impact on the jurors. Okay? Trauma. Don't be surprised. To hear some of those jurors talk about the trauma, listening to how Diddy treated Cassie. Somebody like this guy, did somebody tell me how they call these people? A male prostitute, but I don't know how they call it. Oh, sorry, Tipicano, thank you. I appreciate it. Sorry about that. You're right. I didn't think about, yes. Tipicano says, for the protection of the jurors, please do not use their names. I didn't think about that, but you're correct. Sometimes I just say things. Yes, I'll pay attention. Yeah. When you hear the way they are presenting the case, these people can see themselves in the situation. Okay, it's like you're playing a movie on your mind with all those people testifying. My friend, yesterday, I was getting that last night. That guy, I don't know his name, and maybe I should look for his name. The male prostitute who testified. I don't know how they call. How did they call? Please, somebody who know how they call gigolo. Yes, they didn't use gigolo. There's another name, but yeah, that applies as well. The thing, escort. Thank you, Phoebe Figalili. That's the name I was looking for. They have it, but I got so turned off, and it's yucky to me. Okay. And that's what I guess was affecting me. I was picking up on how the jurors were feeling about some of the tough stuff that Diddy was telling that guy to do, okay, to Cassie, and other activities. I didn't read any of those. I didn't get into them. I simply, because it would affect me. At my age, I know how to protect myself. There are things I don't play with, because I'm by myself here and I had to work. So, sorry, my friends. But yes, don't be surprised if you guys hear some of those people, because of the amount of information that they have to process, if they have some post-traumatic situation, okay? But that guy caused a lot of damage, it feels like to me. Aki Jib says, Midas Touch covered the story about Trump walking into a wall yesterday. I'll tell you something about that in a few seconds, Haiku. Yes. That guy caused a lot of damage to Diddy. It wasn't only gross. Diddy's attitude, the way he treated that woman, and I was watching a video this morning. I don't know that guy's name. I've never seen him before on YouTube. I guess it's one of those people. I mean, it's more power to them. If you can use that to build an audience and move on to other things. But he was showing a video of Diddy in Mexico at some resort or something, and he was dancing with Cassie, and he was saying, well, I don't understand. She looked basically happy there. When somebody's going through trauma, and after a while you get used to it, and if she was in love with the guy, she was trying to do everything she can to stay in his life, and with that level of wealth, I'm not saying it's right. I can see a 19-year-old growing up, getting used to this, being in that lifestyle for 10 years, 11 years, however long. You get used to it. They compartmentalize things. Okay? That guy was saying he doesn't understand how she could go and sue him and turn on him this way. They're not thinking. And let me tell you, the damage, and this guy is not the only gigolo or escort, okay, that's going to be testifying. And the point I'm trying to make is my way of describing the way the feds, the way they are going to be able to make sure they cover all the bases to prove RICO. Okay, I don't know if that's the right way of saying it. Prove that they, to win the RICO case against Trump, against Diddy, they're going to do it. Because I feel that the jury is traumatized, okay? Yesterday was intuitively, I don't know about people who are analyzing. I watched a couple of lawyers. I disagree intuitively. They're talking about facts. Yes, they are right, but intuitively I feel they are wrong. Okay? This is not good at all. And I guess maybe I have a problem, I don't know. Okay? But what I am getting from the jurors, from listening and processing all this, is going to be traumatic. And I feel yesterday, I guess there's a build-up, okay, was not a good day for, if not all of them, but for a lot of them, was not a good day for Diddy. And don't be surprised if some of them talk about being the trauma of having to be juror in a case like this. Please, somebody let me know if you ever heard of someone feeling that way in a similar case. But that's how I feel. Mildred H says, is the word pimp still valid? That's what Diddy is doing. Basically, that's what I said. Maybe this guy should have been in dirty movies, doing porn. I mean, at least, I'm not saying, the people, women who do porn, but at least they say, okay, they made a choice and they can get out and leave it. I don't know. Okay, that's my assumption. They go, when you're a kid, you try something and it doesn't work, like you leave it. But in Cassie's case, okay, it's a drug. It's money. Well, she was doing drug as well. I'm not, obviously she's not a drug addict. She was able to walk away from it. When people are not ill, they don't have addictions, they can just walk away from some things, But in fact, I was thinking about that this morning. I don't think Diddy's, and one of you said that certain gay men, they hate women. Okay, but that's not what I was thinking about this morning. This guy was Cassie's pimp. Some of the stuff that I hear, okay, that Entertainment Tonight is the best to me. He's doing the best reporting, at least at the level that I can take it. Okay, that's the one I go to, because there's an African American lady. She does an amazing job with reporting and explaining what happened in court. But yes, you're right. That's to me, that's Diddy. That's what I was thinking about yesterday. Now, Haiku asked me, let me see, what was the question? Yes, the reason why I didn't bring that up, Haiku, okay, about Trump walking on a wall, is because I'm not sure, okay, the way Trump was visually, Mel Escott, Carrie Jacobs, yes, that's the right term. The way the video, the position of the camera, I couldn't tell if the column was like here and Trump was like here, and he could have walked right by it. That's why I didn't bring it up. But yes, you're right, I saw that. But a lot of those liberal channels, they jump on it. Oh my God, it's 45 already. That's why I didn't bring it up. I can't, intuitively, yes, I know that, and as I've said a couple of times, people like Jake Tapper are bidding on Biden because there is no blowback. It's an easy, it's a pushover, okay? But they won't do it to Trump, But I didn't mention that because I couldn't tell from the position of the camera, okay, if he was really going to hit that column. All right. Yes, I saw Mike Johnson grab them. Okay, but it looks like to me he was not going to walk into that column. It seemed like he was going to go right by it. But where he was, I'm sure he was heading in the wrong direction, because instead of going to Mike Johnson's left, that was the hallway. Okay, it seemed like he was going this way when he was supposed to go that way. So that's why I didn't mention it. But yes, I saw that. But I don't want to say something I can't, I can be sure about. Okay? Okay. Rosetta Kincaid says, where is it? Oh my God. Well, something to the effect that she doesn't understand how Cassie's mother was able to take those pictures. I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken, according to what I remember from a video. Okay, Rosetta Kincaid says, hello, I do not understand how Cassie's mother took pictures of her bruises and did not report it. Oh, well, yeah. Well, they were afraid. It seemed like they were all afraid of Diddy because, the amount of money the guy has and the threats of violence. And I am sure Cassie, she didn't want to put Cassie's life at risk. That's why I feel intuitively she didn't do anything. Okay, I don't want to judge, and intuitively I have other ideas, but these people have enough to process, enough psychological issue, and Cassie, I mean, is $20 million is not enough for what she's gone through. So, I mean, mentally. Okay, friends. Thank you very much, everyone, for spending time with me. Thank you, chat managers, for your help. I appreciate it. If anyone would like a reading from me, the link to my website is below the video, psychicmino.com, or please feel free to call me or text me on my YouTube number. We can negotiate a time that's good for us to talk. Also, please give me a thumbs up. And if you are not a subscriber, please subscribe. I will see you all tomorrow, unless something major happens later. Till then, bye.